You know, I always I read something in chat. Someone says like, "What a stupid move! What a bad engagement!" But I'm like, "What? No, it's a great engagement." Oh, you're talking about the other guy. Because yeah, that did go pretty poorly for Solar Red at the end. But that was you know, I asked you at the start of the last game, will we see that map come into effect? And we didn't see it really abused the way I thought it would, but it was really cool to see True kind of catch Solar off guard with the rocks, wrong place, wrong time, and all that jazz. So. We do find ourselves, though, on a standard map number 5. It's one of the older maps. It's one of the more practice maps. It's one of the more macro maps, but let's get into these introductions. In the Olimoleague win the finals, tied up now 2-2, spawning in the top left of Deadwing. It is Samsung Solar.
In the bottom left as the purple Zerg. It's true.
Now, of course, every time we get maps like this, we assume it's macro, but, you know, that's when the Speedling only comes out again. That's when the earlier roaches that forewent the Zergling Metabolic Boost upgrade overpower your opponent. I'm not sure if we'll see an all-in or not, but, again, time kind of comes in to say that this, for either player, could go either way. Again, they're tied up in their series leading into this, guys. The last several matches have been really back and forth with who takes best of threes and whatnot. This finals itself now tied up 2-2, really back and forth, and we have identical openings out of both.
So far, yeah. Hatchery first on Deadwing. Pretty damn common.
It's a safe bet. You've got that 50-50 chance they scout the wrong way.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I don't think they saw each other's overlords, despite being in the positions that you usually do.
Actually, yeah, look at the visions. They took really weird paths going this way. Solar especially.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little funny. It won't affect this game because there's not any 10 pools or 6 pool or anything, but like it could have been useful to know. Oh well. Hopefully they both pay attention. Well, I guess True's the only one that's going into the main. So hopefully True will pay attention and won't just leave his overlord going into a queen or something.
That hurt. I mean, I'm surprised it didn't catch a cost in the game because he wasn't going for an early game all-in that was going to kill him, but it definitely hurts to lose the Overlord really early like that. That's why you specifically will see some folks like Cats go out of their way to, well, build Spore Crawlers, catch the Overlord, snipe them off really quick. And again, one of the key things of that is it does stop all-ins kind of dead in their tracks rather than just get an Overlord kill.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not going to be the case. He just sends it back home. Or, well, outside the base anyways.
Actually, I was doing 2v2s with Caitlin yesterday, and she tried to do the Spore Crawler, the aggressive Spore Crawler. She put it right next to our opponent's hatchery, expecting an Overlord to pop. But the guy was supply blocked and didn't know it, so he wasn't building an Overlord, so the Spore Crawler killed nothing.
Nice.
I hate Spore Crawlers so much.
You know, if Terran can get to decisions about where to put the add-on, Zerg should have to get decisions where to put the larva.
That would be cool. You could rally the larva. You know, there's already 2 rallies on the hatchery. Is it so absurd to make a 3rd for larva?
Yes, actually.
Oh, okay.
I think you just have to control the larva.
For those who maybe are tuning for the first time, by the way, never ever listen to any balanced discussions I'm Rip and I talk on the cats. It is 100% bullshit.
Sweeper
99%
is a
of the time.
good idea. Okay?
I still think a nuke should clean up creep. Do you know how much more viability that would give to a nuke if like creep could not spread in the area a nuke landed for the next like 5 minutes or something?
I don't see what's wrong with that. I really don't. Like, how many nukes come in effect anyways?
I would totally drop 5 nukes around my base to create like a moat, like an area where you could not put creeps around.
Cool. Oh, a radiation zone. I see.
Yeah. Actually,
well,
truth be told, again, don't listen to us, but I would love, like, one true thing I would love to see with Legacy of the Void is if they did make nukes more viable. It kind of sucks that it's 2 expansions now where nukes are just kind of a joke. They don't really have a... Like, there's some times where they'll work, sometimes they'll zone out an army, sometimes once in a blue moon they'll kill a base.
Yeah, I really enjoy when they're very useful in TVP, I guess would be where we see them the most. And even then a lot. I thought that was really fun, but you're right. They weren't that viable in Brood War either. Like they've never really had their heyday.
Right? You see carriers more than you see nukes.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Starbow kind of did it cool. They nerfed the damage, but they also made the drop down time like halved, so you would actually get a nuke. But yeah, well.
Yeah, well. Well, True's going for a little bit later speed again. But hopefully Solar isn't tricked again, thinking, oh, he's not going to go for speed. That's not going to be the case. And in fact, wait, is he getting a lair? He's not getting a lair. So he's going to do the all-in now, but this one's going to hit with +1 Carapace. This is what we saw Solar win easily with Roachling.
We'll see if it's the same effect, though. I mean, the thing is, though, with the early game fights like this, it can really go either way. Control's a pretty big deal. Not getting surrounded, being in the right position, hugging a wall or hugging each other with the roaches.
Okay. I mean, the third base was kind of like, okay, why would you do it if he gets in a third base? But like, there's that fake third base that you don't drone up. So, oh well. His lair is an entire lair behind. That was the only like questionable thing about it.
Well, before the action kicks off, I want to give a big thank you to Nelisuna. Sorry if I'm saying this wrong. 2 months subbed now, back to back. Welcome back. Did you see my clever tweet about you, by the way?
Yes. No chance.
I was so proud of that.
I'm sure you were.
So is it just, are you like getting that 7-inch thick snow, or was it just like a bad stormy night?
It was like just a really bad stormy night. Like the visibility was really like down low, and at night it actually got down to -25 degrees.
Wow.
Which is, it's very low, okay? With like 60-mile-per-hour winds. It's actually like pushing cars around, so I don't want to go out at night.
I can totally get behind that. That'd be so scary.
It was a little scary, because even in the morning, what basically happened was that it was still freezing, so all the snow that melted just turned into like ice and slush and more ice. So it's dangerous driving home.
Well, look at that roach
Speaking
count.
of dangerous.
Yeah, it's pretty much double the roaches in the favor of Solar. The Spine Crawler is going to help buy a little bit of time, but True knows he can't really fight this at face value, so I really like that he disengaged with the roaches, and maybe gives up a little bit at this third, but it's better to lose some of your third and stay alive than completely get knocked out of the game with this attack. He's still down in roaches by a big way. The upgrades kind of negate one another, and the drones are soaking some hits, but I gotta tell you, Zombie Grub, this is looking pretty good for Solar. Even if True holds this...
ending?
No, I don't think it'll be an abrupt ending. I think Defender's Advantage will win out, especially with that Queen and a couple transfuses going down, but it's a struggle to say the least. True, his roaches are kind of awkwardly getting involved with the fight. There's speed for Solar, so he can disengage. True can't really pick off that 1 or 2 roaches on the retreat, but he did lose a good chunk of drones. However, it's not like Solar had rocketed ahead in drones because he had so many roaches. True loses 15, but it ends up being similar drone count behind this.
Yeah.
I think it's the follow-up that might be a little too dangerous, though. We'll see how badly Solar decides to dedicate to a round 2. He does start droning up his third.
The Contaminate on the upgrade for True is pretty nice. Solar's already down in upgrade, so if he can get the +2, then he actually would be even and would have that nice little timing. Which, I mean, he could go for right now and probably do good stuff with. I mean... A Spine Crawler would have been so useful, but that died instantly. True just got to be constantly scared. You should just have an overload over the army, which I think is a bit of a mistake. But I think he knows that it's probably big.
Yeah. It's roaches after all. What are you going to do? It's like, well, I tricked you. I went like 5 roaches, hit you early, but then I just droned to 90.
Yeah, drone to 90, of course, of course.
I think that's the dream, but you're never going to get away with it, right?
Yeah, no, usually it's 60 is around the time where they stop. I mean, as you can see here, they're stopping at 54 and 52. There you go. Not very high at all.
Well, I like that the upgrades are possibly going to look better for True, depending how long this goes. For Solar, he does, of course, come into this. Again, upgrades kind of negate each other with a 1-1 versus 2-0, but when it's 2-1 versus 2-0, it's definitely going to look a little bit better for True. It's really hard to get over the hump of what is like 1 extra upgrade, though, because for the most part, 12 extra roaches are going to be 12 extra roaches, no matter how you look at it.
I thought Solar was going to try and push in right there. He is losing out on that upgrade time. I mean... So now we're going to get into that point where it's just like, okay, so Roach War's done. Now what is the next tech? Hydras, Infestors, Roach Burrow, or Banelings? So basically the 4 choices that you have, because no one meant for Mutas and a Greater Spire would be way too far off. And it looks like True's going to go for Roach Burrow. Solar, I don't know. Just maxing out on Roach. Oh, it's Solar's going for Burrow, so I don't know what True's going to do. Just max out on Roaches?
Solar's actually going for Tunneling Claws before Burrow.
Well, you assume that he's gonna get it. You see also
What
that was in the
if-
patch notes? The
Yeah,
bounce
yeah,
update?
Burrow's just gonna like be inclusive or
Oh
whatever.
my god,
But-
it's like infested there, or festers.
But what if, hear me out on this, what if he fakes out this Burrow, right? And True overreacts with 7 Overseers. That's a lot of gas gone. That could have gone in a roach.
Yes.
No, without
would
Burrow's going to be
notice.
worthless, but for now it doesn't really matter. The engagement does finally come down. True's let me into this with a pretty nice roach count on fairly even footing for both players, but neither player fighting with a full force of roaches. As True stutter steps parts of his army forward, it does allow both players to fight with more of their roaches. Solar is losing out on this initial engagement, but again, Defender's advantage. He's right here. He's got more roaches on the way. Tunneling Claws is going to finish. Kind of a bit of a joke, but this was the advantage of True having that upgrade lead. 2-1 over 2-0. At the top of this ramp, it's looking possible for him to hold, but it's looking pretty grim as far as numbers go. But keep in mind, a lot of True's roaches are just coming across the map and not here on the front line. So it is trading out still fairly similar, fairly evenly.
Yeah. Solar with a couple of queens helping out, and the +1 character is just now finishing. He has held, and he's still ahead by 8 drones.
Yeah, looking pretty nice. He's got that 4th base down too, but I almost wonder if this is more of a vulnerability. But if True dedicates too much to go into that 4th and snipe it off, then Solar comes down and gets the surround, but he wants to prevent that from even happening in the first place. So it's really awkward for him to take fights, but I really think he forgot Burrow. I don't think this was an intentional, like, this was a pretty nasty mistake.
But look how scary his roaches are now. It's the scare effect.
Yes, they've got extra colors on their back. You are correct about this.
Much spiky, very spiky.
Yes, these actually kind of look like those the ends, you know, those toothbrush bits that you're supposed to put in your gums to clean them.
No. What?
Like at the end of a toothbrush, there'll be like that rubber spike.
You're supposed to use? I don't actually know if my toothbrush has that, but I didn't know there was another part of the toothbrush you're supposed to use.
Oh, some have it, some don't. But you're supposed to just pick stuff out of your teeth. Anyways, whatever.
Oh.
The more you learn. The Burrow is on the way, but looks like True's gearing up for what is possibly Banelings to go with this. So might try and bust through with that one big attack. He doesn't quite have the gas count to go for heavy Banelings, but he does produce a lot of Zerglings behind this. And if this is just for cannon fodder, that would be truly interesting. Queen on the front lines. Well, hi.
Is there an Overseer with True's army? Because Solar in this scenario could go ahead and just start burrowing. When
If Burrow
finishes.
was complete, of course.
Hey, he can hold on until then. It's going pretty evenly right now.
Yeah,
Both are just dipping down, dipping down.
It's destined to trade evenly, though. It's similar upgrades, similar roach count. Both players fighting on a very even line. No one's got a really distinct concave, but Solar with Defender's advantage will hold once again. Those 9 drone leads are going to be the couple of extra roaches he really needs to solidify this. True really is trying to get in here and cause a couple of drone kills. He's really trying to get in there and snipe off that 4th, but once again, Solar will prevail.
Mm-hmm. And Solar's always going to have that bigger bank, so every single time this happens, he's just remaxing a little bit better. True, well, yeah,
Heal
they're
his
healing up.
roaches. That's actually a pretty big deal, because consider this, True's got a lot of roaches that are now within 1-shot range. When he comes back for round 2 of the fight, Solar's going to be fully healed up. He's also starting to segment some off for some possible Burrow tech, or tactics. He has no Overseer. He's going to get into this base unseen.
This is it's kind of uncommon nowadays. Usually an Overseer is always paired up with the main army at least.
Even if there's no Burrow tech, it's usually just made out of habit, out of muscle memory and all that. Solar perhaps could be a little bit sad he didn't dedicate more to this, realizing just how easily he'd get away with it. But the trick, of course, is going to be drawing all those roaches back to the main and opening up that 3rd, opening up that 4th for a main attack as he harasses. And picking up the Queen's going to be a nice start. Eats into the injects.
I guess True's Overseer just died, because I know Solar's hatchery was contaminated.
Yeah,
it's really unfortunate timing.
They got picked up by the Queen over the geyser at
Yeah.
the 3rd. But Solar takes a pretty interesting engagement here at the front. It is a bit awkward for the front side of things, but he does have a very distinct roach lead. He also picked off the Queen in the main, so less injects means less rounds of roaches later on, but he is winning this fight very one-sidedly. 2-1 on this. He's also going to be able to burrow. I don't know if he's recognized his opponent doesn't have that Overseer, but the low roaches could burrow up. I mean, keep in mind, the big supply dip at the start of the fight was the execution of the roaches in the red, in the yellow, that were left over from the previous engagement. Solar wins the left side easily. He's trading out evenly on the right. The roaches in the main still unused, but double the roach count. Defender's advantage will not cover this, and Solar, as we see, just burrows through. It's almost a little bit of BM, but surrounds the Roaches. Good game, and Solar, ladies and gentlemen, will break the tie, not just in the finals, but in their previous series. So congratulations to Solar, the ZVZ king of today.